subscribe.
Oh, it's rap time! Rap time! Was stuck on the mic. I'm a white boy. Big plans. Stand demands. What am I after? I know. Latinas and femboys and big ones. I'm talk 300 pounds. I don't play. I'm gonna say what I want from you today. 9/11. Boston bombs. Who's gonna rap? I got this song. Think too much. Got that plan. So hammer on the shelf. That's what I'm gonna say. Going ham. First rap of the month, and I'm gonna say this when I'm being March and it's November, and I'm gonna say it's a lot more. One more time. Soracle plans. No video. Redditconfessions.
Well, howdy, my labels and grabels. I just want to start off, this video by saying how grateful I am. The family has grown. There's now like 400 of us. I think that number's actually lower now. Some of you inglorious bastards left me. That's okay. Because, you know what? Life's short, it's fickle, and we're about to dill pickle this video because we're tackling not a subject today, believe it or not. We're diving into the deepest, darkest corners of the internet. Reddit! Now, I know you can find more crazy places, but we're going to be untangling, reviewing, maybe dissecting some Gooner confessions on Reddit, because I'm afraid that many people of my age, younger generation, we're just a bunch of little gooners. What are we doing with our time? Get home from work, have a chippies and a wank. Like, what are you really doing with your time? Now, is this video gonna blow up? No. So these people are pretty safe. But also, if you're posting these sorts of things on the confessions Reddit, you kind of just get what you deserve. So let's get into it. Today we're reviewing r/confessions Gooner Edition. I used to think gooning was a dumb word used online. Like, I didn't get it. Didn't think it applied to me. I'm not one of those people who sit in front of porn for hours, and I don't watch crazy stuff. I thought I had self-control. But it happened one night when I couldn't sleep. I was feeling touch-starved, overstimmed, lonely of it all, and I put on some music, lit a candle, and touched myself a little, just to feel something. Then I spiraled. It wasn't about porn anymore. I barely used any. It was more about chasing that feeling, edging myself over and over, replaying the same sentence in my head, like a loop, imagining hands that weren't mine, voices that weren't real. I kept zooming out. Then I realized an hour had passed. Then too, I cried at one point. Not from sadness, just from how cracked open I felt. I couldn't stop. I didn't want to stop. I felt like I'd been melting into the mattress, like my body was trying to dissolve into something bigger. I barely came. I didn't even need to. The build-up was the high. I didn't think that was what gooning was really about. Not porn, addiction, but whatever. Just surrender. Losing time. Because your body wants to stay in that place where you feel everything and nothing at once. I haven't done it since. Sometimes I want to. Now, we're gonna be touching a lot of stories, sort of like this one, and it's really highlighting this sense of self-deprivation. People feel alone. There's no real connection anymore. This is a young lad. He's self-admittedly, he doesn't believe this is right, but he does it anyways. And it's not even for the sentiment of using material to get off, to goon, to stretch the lizard, as some would say. It's just about that feeling. And, this is where people really spiral, because this is like a stage one. You can go a lot deeper. This is a stepping stone, really, for that self-loathing. I hate myself. I don't like what I'm doing. And yeah, it's pretty lame. You're gooning without material. Well, though. But as well, it is sad. This is a young man. Clearly, their life is in a certain point in time where maybe they don't have a girlfriend. Maybe they're not really getting relationships, cooking. They're not really getting that stimulation of touch and feeling and senses. So there's this hedonistic mechanism inside ourselves where we compensate. And clearly this gentleman's compensation was to edge himself. Self-admittedly, he doesn't want to do it anymore, but who knows? This is 92 days old. Maybe he's gooning right now. Story 2. When I was very young, like 12, and I had no access to porn or the internet, I used my crappy Nokia, and I'd take a photo of my own butt from an angle where it seemed like a girl's butt, and jerked off to it. I kind of missed the time when my ass wasn't covered in hair. Ew! We serious right now? Some people need help. Like this young man. They only get worse from here, by the way. I did put up a poll on r/confessions, and they were rated. This is like the bottom of the barrel, apparently. So I'm scared. To touch on that story, yeah, as a bloke, as a male, we will literally find anything sexually gratifying. Like, if we go too long without getting some, I'll be looking at like a curvy tree and I'm like, type shit. If no one else was around, I'm cracking the bark, type shit. That story has mentally fucked me. What do you mean you're jerking off your own ass? Yeah. What? But morals and values can seem very non-applicable when you are starving for something. When you're hungry, you will eat literally anything, or your standards for food are going to go down because you're hungry. At such a young age, I don't know why you're that down bad, because holy shit, that's cooked, bro. You need help. I can't help you with that. I masturbated to pictures of Ben Shapiro almost every day, just because I know he would hate the idea of a male wanking to him. It's actually really difficult, because I don't find him sexually attractive in any way, especially just his headshots, but I have done it every day for about 2 years. I find it funny at first, but now I'm so used to it that it makes me feel incomplete if I don't do it every day. We live on the same planet as these people, alright? These people are allowed to vote. Or if they're too young, they will be able to vote. 2 years? 2 years? And you don't even like it? What the fuck? You need help, bro. Like, medication or something. 2 years. 2 years for anything's a long time. You try holding your breath underwater for like a minute. That shit feels like eternity. Every day for 2 years? Out of spite? Damn! You want an upset motherfucker. Damn. This is where I think if you've got anger, bro, if you've got like malicious intent, I don't think Ben Shapiro is Jewish, I believe. I'm pretty sure Jewish people and people of Muslim cultures are very much against this because they don't really fuck with the gay people all that much. That's just how it is. So I do think if Ben Shapiro did know about that, you wouldn't be too happy. I just read that, and I'm neither, and I'm upset. What? Why? Could you have just done that and not told the r/confessions subreddit? Or put it in the poll? I'm not even sure if you put that in there. Someone else must have put that in for you, because... why? I'm afraid that there are probably lots of people like you out in the world. You know, I cherish and love all human beings, but some people are harder to love than others. You're one of them, sir. But I respect the hustle. I respect the game. 2 years is longer than I would put towards an endeavor such as the one you've dedicated yourself towards. So, congratulations. And you're not even the worst on this list. Like, it just gets worse. I don't know. I don't read these ahead of time, so I can get a pretty fresh understanding. You know, we're learning together. We're a learning channel. We're a conversational channel. I like to think with thoughts. But the title of this one is going to hurt me, I think. And I hope it hurts you too. You know, suffering together is better than being alone. No one wants to suffer alone, and we're going to do it together. We're like a family now. All 400 of us. Stop leaving me. Can't stop gooning to AI stories. This is literally the most embarrassing problem I could ever possibly have. So I figured out how to make ChatGPT roleplay with me in the most horrific, morally ambiguous, deeply sexual way possible. Put my fucking personal medical information in there and play TV doctor with it, and then sleep with the doctor. I will spend hours every day on this. I pay for ChatGPT Plus at $20 a month and regularly run out of 40 messages. 40 mini is harder to make porn with, and it is of lower quality. How does he know? And I'm considering buying the damn pro plan so I can keep on gooning. I'm a young, normal-looking female who's made sex before. I'm not an incel. I just have zero interest in real-life men and don't actually like having sex in real life. I want to beat off religiously to an AI chatbot pretending to be my favorite men from TV shows. I'm using more water than in some cities every day just to goon. I know what I'm doing is morally wrong, a waste of time, and generally a strange activity, but I can't stop. I've spent at least an hour doing this, and it's getting super pissy and irritable every day. Anyway, anyone have a similar issue? No. Well, I hope not. I'd like to just address the elephant in the room. Brisky is not a normal looking female. If you have to put that in there, you are a 40-year-old man. How do I know this? Well, there are a few comments underneath that video and they were all saying the exact same thing. Like when I read that, just then my first thought was, yeah, you're a dude. So I did a quick scroll under and the first 3 messages like, this is definitely a dude, bro. And I don't blame him. Because what the helly, normal looking female, I'm not an incel, I just don't like sex. If you don't like having sex, you know, especially in the reproductive terms, you're actually useless to greater society. You understand that, right? You know, because when you eventually die, at least you'll have kids or grandkids running about. I don't like it. Well, when you die, you leave nothing. Oh, but I don't live like everyone else. Yeah, well, neither are your generations but after you, bro. You know, this is such a weird time we live in with the internet and people believing that, oh, careers are better to have than families. What? The social perception of like time given to time out is so skewed and morally, like, it's just a moral grey area these days. People don't want to go to work every day and then come home and like, oh, I have to spend money on kids? Oh, I'd rather spend it on my next Netflix plan. Like, bro, what do you mean? I get less expensive. But like, name one generation of people who didn't struggle. You know, I'm like, oh, the older generation never struggled. Bro, they had lesser struggles. They still struggled. You know, they never bought a house for free. They still had to work for years, paying off mortgages. And yeah, things were cheaper. Inflation has fucked us, alright? But clearly, this guy's been fucked by the internet because he's trying to fucking AI. You gave it your medical information. You're spending $20 a month. Why can't I afford to move out and go out with all the babes? You're paying for an AI chatbot, my boy. And you're definitely a man. And, you know, if you don't want to admit to Reddit that you're a dude and you're gay, you know, because I definitely do believe you are giving your medical information, spending money on it. You know, it's a male movie star or some baloney. But my labels and grabels, can we come together and, you know, drop a comment down below? What the helly? Because why? These people are like fundamentally challenged when it comes to like social perceptions of themselves. You put that in there of your free will, my boy. Oh well, I can't fix you. I hope you're having fun. I hope you get a cheaper plan, or maybe you get the pro version, because $20 a month, it's not a lot of money, but clearly when you're not spending it on dates or women or men or kids, you probably got some extra cash. You can probably splurge a little bit. So good on you, buddy. I saw a guy snorting coke off another guy's cock while in a primary school in the fucking slums of South Hall. Genuinely, it was about 1 a.m. and there were two other guys with their D's out doing cocaine. We yelled no homo at them and ran away. You know, that is pretty funny, especially being 1 a.m. and all. I've never seen anything like that. It's a pretty unique experience, I think. Couple of guys, couple of D's out, doing lines with their cacks. Pretty gay. The no homo comment was pretty valid, pretty funny, I think. Now, could those guys have caught up to you? I don't know. Yeah, they look fast. That could have gone south, I guess. A bunch of naked guys on coke. But maybe they got upset and chased you. Maybe you were typing that while seeing it, and that's your last post. I don't see any other posts under that. In the comments underneath that video, just laughing. It's pretty funny. I think you'd be pretty hard, you know, stuck to find that probably 60 years ago. Just a bunch of naked guys out on the street, you know, not hiding their homoerotic endeavors, because we live in a different society nowadays. You know, you can go out at 1 a.m. and see a bunch of guys snorting blow off each other's ding-a-langs. Pretty funny story. That was actually way better than the previous story. I think we'll do one more, and then yeah, we'll have a talk, an evaluation, talk about these goon confessions. That wasn't really a goon story, as it was just like kind of funny. I hope that guy wasn't smacking his schmeatzicle, you know, to that later. We can hope. I showered with my brother and yeah, I ain't reading that. That's the last one. I hope you guys found this video entertaining. You know, r/confessions Gooner Edition. There were some pretty good stories in there. There's only really a couple funny ones. You know, I'd like to end on the note that, look, we're living in a pretty hedonistic society these days. People are giving in to their inner desires. They're exploring new things, and people are more open to it. They're more comfortable with it these days. You know, you want to be a turtle, you can be a turtle. You want to be a turtle in the tree, you know, 'cause someone can put you up there. We live in a society like that now. You can sort of be anything you want to be, do anything you want to do. These are clearly people who admit to these things online and put it in polls. Imagine the things people aren't talking about. There's probably some mental ones. There were ones when I was doing other research, because I was thinking I was just gonna find some confessions. Yeah, I'm scarred, bro. That's why I had to make a poll. I wasn't gonna be reading 1,000 like actually cooked fucking stories. on r/confessions. I thought most of them would be funny. They are not. I don't spend nearly enough time on that site. You know, maybe we'll do 4chan confessions next time. I know 4chan's way worse than Reddit, but look, from me having to make a poll on the confessions subreddit for a subtitle of Goon Confessions, you can't get much worse than what I was reading. Maybe you can. You know, smack a like, share, comment, and tell me what you would goon to in your free time. Soracle out.